welcome to Shared Chapters on budgepod.com. Here on Shared Chapters, I'm letting you in on the journey of my life, how I'm going from day to day, experiencing life in a new city as I've moved from the city of Jos to the city of Abuja. And of course, there's going to be a lot of gist here and there about what I do, how I do what I do, the many things that I do, the many jobs that I've done, the many experiences that I've had. I'm just letting you into that space so that we can have a conversation, get to know ourselves better, and grow in the process. So, as a single girl, okay, let me take that back. So, as a single girl in the city of Abuja, yeah. So, I just recently moved to Abuja, of course, as I've already said. And I am single in a way. I am single, and I mean, like, as a single person, you have like talking stages that work, not really work, but at least they get somewhere and then they die off. And then the ones that are like really weird and all of that thing, right? So anyway, like 2 weeks back, so I started this talking stage that I was thinking was going to mean something, because I mean, I'm not like young. I'm like 30 something. And so I'm really looking to date someone serious, like someone like late 30s, early 40s. Yes, okay, early 40s, late 30s. And somehow I seem to be attracted to a lot of 40-year-old men recently, which is bad because most of them are married. So it's not like I'm attracted to married men. No, nothing on earth is going to make me ever do that to myself. So no, it's not that. It's just that, so I met this guy a couple of weeks back. It was on a Monday, I can remember, because that was like the first day of the week. I was going to work and I was on my way to the junction to go and get a cab to get like halfway to my workplace, right? I was just walking gingerly, quietly, taking my time to walk from my house to the junction, because no hurry in life. If I rush, I'll sprain my ankle. It's still me that I'll go back home and sort myself out. Anyway, I was taking my time walking to the road, and this car pulls up beside me. He was like, hey, where am I headed to? I was like, oh, okay, she's not worried. I'm just going, okay, he said he was going to Bega. So I told him I was going to Airport Junction, right? If you know Abuja, you know these places. So I was like, okay, I'm going to Airport Junction. And he was like, oh, okay, sorry, he's going to Bega. I was like, okay, that's fine. Then he drove off a bit, then he stopped. Then when I caught on to them, like I walked a bit further, he was like, okay, can he drop me at the junction? I was like, there's no need. I'm almost at the junction. I can just walk there. It's fine, because it was just like a minute walk. Okay, 2 minutes walk from where I was to the actual junction. I will not enter your car. Okay, to be honest, I've made that stupid mistake before. That I entered the guy's car. I entered the guy's car when my house was like 1 minute walk. I don't know what was in my head that day, to be honest. Anyway, I told him, I was like, okay, no, there's no need. He was like, okay, can he get my number? And I knew that was why he was telling me to get into the car so that he dropped me off. I knew that was why. He wanted my number, right? And I didn't want to give him my number, but then he was with a friend. The friend was like, you know, those kind of people, those charming people that be like, please, thank you, that kind of thing. I was like, oh, okay. In my mind, I was like, I can just block you if you stress me. So why not? I'll give you my number. So I gave him my number, and he was like, okay, he'll call me. I was like, that's fine. He drove off. So I walked to the junction, got into a cab, got to work. Didn't think much about the earlier conversation with this man, and I just went on with my day. However, he now calls me around 1-ish in the afternoon. He was like, hey, is this person? I was like, oh, hi, how you doing? He was like, it's cool. He's like, he's at work. And then I responded, okay, that's cool. I'm also at work doing this and that. The usual small talk kind of thing, right? So after the usual small talk, he tells me, okay, he doesn't want to disturb me. He just wants me to know that this is his number. And I was like, okay, that's fine, no problem. He said, can he call me later in the day? I said, that's fine. He can call me maybe around 7 when I'm at home and settled in. He said, fine. We end the call there. End of story. I get home after work around 6-ish, because I leave work around 5. I get home around 6. I just settle into my room. Like, you know that kind of thing where you just want to let go of the whole day, which is what I do normally. When I get back home after work, I just take 10 minutes and then just settle into my space, absorb the silence. Living alone is sweet. Absorb the silence and just be myself, just be with me forget everything that happened during the day and just listen to the silence. I do that for a few minutes, take a shower, rest. I'm about to start watching a movie, and then he calls me around 7, which was really impressive. Like, he called me 7, like a few minutes past 7. I was so impressed because he said 7 and he did call me by 7. And he was like, "Hey, is this person?" I'm like, "Hi, you actually called. Like, you actually called." I was really surprised. We have this conversation. He just tells me a little bit about himself, what he likes doing. We have like a little chit chat about movies, what movies I like, those kind of things, right? All of these things, smooth talk, smooth sailing. He tells me good night. He asks, "Okay, what time can I call you? Can I call you tomorrow? Because I don't want to disturb you. I don't like disturbing people." I said, "Okay, you can call me by 8. By 8, I'm sure that I'm completely settled and I don't have any interruptions by that time." He says, "Okay, no problem." Conversation ends. We say good night. I say good night, and that was it. So the next day comes. We just have like a little bit of conversation just to catch up. He actually did call by 8, just a few minutes past 8, which was so impressive, right? So baby girl was getting hopeful. I was getting hopeful that, oh my gosh, I got myself like someone serious, matured guy, all of these things, right? Yes, that's what I was thinking. Anyway, that day, after like 2 days, he was now like, "Okay, this is it. How can we see?" I was like, "Can we see?" I told him, I was like, "Okay, I'm usually very busy during the week. I don't like going out at night. I have a particular time I like being at home. I don't like if I'm meeting a guy for the first time, the first few times, not even the first few times, the first month at least. You do not know what my house looks like. You might not even know where I live. You just know the area that I live. And because we met in my area, so of course he knows I live around there. But I wasn't going to let him into my house, and I wasn't going to go into his house. If he wants us to meet, we can meet at a neutral area. Maybe we can go for a drink or something. Anything." He said he likes football. I told him I'm willing to go and watch football because of him, because I'm not that crazy about football. I don't want high blood pressure. My heart is very soft. Football used to cause me heartache, so I don't like watching it. So I told him I can watch football on his behalf. I can just go and watch because of him, and we'll gist and we'll talk and get to know each other. But he started insisting on meeting. So I told him, "Okay, how about the weekend? We'll meet on Saturday." So he said, "Okay, that's fine." He's going out with a couple of friends on Saturday. How about I join them? I said, "That's fine." What time? He tells me 2:00. And because he's a timely person, I've noticed that he keeps time very well. I said, "Okay, 2:00 is fine." Right? So Saturday comes, and I had a few errands to run on Saturday. Gas finished. My gas finished on Thursday, and I didn't want to stress myself. So Friday, I didn't go to buy gas till Saturday morning. And I didn't start cleaning my space till like 10 in the morning. It's Saturday, I sleep in. So I slept in on Saturday, woke up, ran my errand. So I was 30 minutes late to meet up with him. But I told him that I'll be 30 minutes late. Right? So 2:30, I let him know that, "Okay, I'm done, I'm ready. Where do we meet?" He tells me, "Oh, how about we meet at so like there's this pharmacy near my house. How about we meet in front of the pharmacy?" I said, "That's cool. I'll meet you in front of the pharmacy." 2:00, 2:30, I'm out. I go to meet him, and he actually comes out to meet me. He was a bit late. I had to just enter the pharmacy to buy something. So he meets me. He now tells me his friends are a bit late. How about we go back to his place and we wait for his friends? If you know the siren that blew my head, I've been dodging to go to your house. You know how they prefer excuse? I said, He now said, no, there's nothing to be worried about. I'm in no danger. I'm like, the fact that you even said it is a red flag. But anyway, I might just be overreacting, right? So I said, I was really like skittish about the issue. I didn't really like the fact that he was suggesting we could have waited somewhere. We could literally have waited somewhere. We can wait for them under the bridge, right? But he was like, he just said, no, that it's not be long. It's just like 5 minutes wait. His neighbors are also coming. I said, fine. As we're driving back, we now meet up with his neighbors. His neighbors had actually come out. So they now told him, guy, let's just go under the bridge and let's wait there. Let's wait for this guy. So since it's one other person we're waiting for. I was so relieved. But anyway, we go to this place. We had fun. I actually had fun that Saturday. I'm not going to lie. I had fun. We went to a pool. So it's been a while I went to. It's crazy that the one day that I went to a pool in Abuja is the one day that it wasn't hot. That's the annoying part about this. That the one day we decided to go to the pool was the one day it decided to not be hot in Abuja. All the heat in the states decided to disappear that particular day. I was annoyed because you can't even enjoy the water at that pace. You just enter the water, you're now cold. You're not shivering inside water in Abuja. Abuja that rain is falling, you feel heat. But that day, anyway, that's that for my annoyance about that day. Anyway, I had fun. We went to the pool. After the pool, we went to hang out at a local bar. Had like tea. I love Arabian tea. So that was like a win-win for me. Regardless of the fact that I stayed way past my normal outside time. My social meter had run out. My ability to be in the presence of people had died. I was really just tired. I just wanted to get home. But I mean, I was in the presence of other people. So I had to just be polite. So I wasn't behaving anyhow. Just so you know, I was very ladylike, unlike me. Okay, so everything happened. The whole day went nicely. We went back home. He drops me off. I walked back to my house. Then on Sunday, I was like, hey, have fun when we meet and all of that. I was like, okay. Where are you? Can we meet? We can meet somewhere. He said no, I can come to his house. I said no. I'm not coming to your house. He said, why? I said, I'm not the kind of girl that will go and meet you in your house the first week, the first 2 weeks. I don't even feel safe enough around you. I didn't tell him that part. But the truth is, I don't even feel safe enough around you after 2 weeks to want to be in your house. No. And I don't want to come to my house either. Like, I don't want that interaction to happen yet. I want us to get to know ourselves. Let's actually get to know ourselves. But the one thing I must commend him for was the fact that he actually was open about himself. And he was willing to let me know a little bit. He told me what he did, how long he's been in Abuja for, the fact that he moved from Lagos. I know. The moment you tell a girl that the guy moved from Lagos, see the siren that will go off in her head. So I really just wanted to give him a chance. I didn't want to be that girl that would just assume. I don't put people in boxes of generalization. Like, I don't say, like, to be honest, yeah, I'm those girls that will be like, Lagos guys, don't go there, or Abuja guys, don't go there. But the truth is, if I meet a guy, I don't assume that about you. I let you be the reason why I say, you, this guy, you have an issue. I don't look for fault with you until you bring out the fault yourself. I can be that naive. Facts. I can be so naive, I would believe, okay, let me not make it that bad. Let me see, who can I use as an example? Well, I don't know who I can use, because anyone that I use now is going to still be bad. But anyway, I can be so naive that I can believe that, oh yes, there's one time. So I can be so naive that I would go and visit a guy at a hotel and still give him the chance that he doesn't want anything to happen. Oh my God. Okay, yes. So I'm that kind of person that can believe the best in people. I have the gifts of believing the best in people. So, but at the point where you start disturbing me to come to your house, I no problem there. Like, I know for a fact that something's up, you want something, and I'm fully aware of what I look like. So I might not be pretty, but I have other attributes. Okay. Well, I'm actually pretty. What am I saying? I'm actually pretty, but I'm not like beautiful. Like, I would just come. No, I'm not that kind of person. But I know that I'm good looking, and I know what I actually look like physically. So I know what I can draw to myself, right? So I was fully aware of that, and the fact that he kept insisting, come to my house. I was like, brother, why not? Anyway, well, I think the straw that broke the camel's back was when we found out that we were of two different religions, and I'm not the kind of girl that would mess around with that. Like, I I have friends of different religion, right? And we would have these conversations where we, to be honest, I don't think that if you want intimacy with someone, I don't know about other people, I'm not judging anybody, but if you want true intimacy with someone, the religion would actually matter, because true intimacy does creep into that. Not even creep, it's part of it. What you believe is part of your intimacy. It's part of how you connect. It's part of who you be as a couple. So the fact that we were of two different religions, automatically nothing was going to happen between us. And he even asked me, said, does this change anything? I said it changes everything. Nothing's going to happen between us because of this. But we can be friends. I have friends that believe other things other than myself. I mean, it was when I was younger that if I meet someone that was atheist, I would take offense. But now I wouldn't. No, he's not atheist. But now I wouldn't, right? So you know how sometimes, like, if you meet a lot of people, they take so much offense when they meet atheists because of the brash arrogance of some atheists. I used to be that person. I used to be the person that mine was so bad that even as a Christian, if you believe in things different than I do, I would take so much offense. And it did say a little bit about where my maturity was at, because if you're truly matured in what you believe, you would sort of have like you have space. You actually give space or keep space for other people that believe otherwise. There's this space that you give them. It's almost like saying, I don't agree with what you're saying, but that doesn't mean you are a terrible person, or that doesn't mean I don't want anything to do with you again. No, I understand. I might even understand where you're coming from better than you understand it for yourself. So I would get that, and then I would also hold space for you and what you believe. But having a relationship with someone that doesn't believe what I believe, that is literal being yoked with the wrong person, right? That's just literal no for me. And when I say this, I don't even talk about just different religions. I'm even talking about, even as a Christian, what is my foundation? What are my values? What do I believe about family? What do I believe about marriage? A lot of these things, they are part of who you are and who you believe. And if you are with somebody that believes something else, problem deal, serious problem. Anyway, so after we realized that, okay, we have two different religions, nothing's gonna happen, and I wasn't gonna go to his house. So the conversation started just started reducing, like everything. At this point, everything has died. I know that it's the end. I think I even deleted his number long before we got to this point. So by the time, I think I just said his number the moment I realized he was asking me to come to his house literally every day after. And I realized, okay, this guy wants something else that I'm not going to be able to give him. So yeah, so I just deleted it. I was going to make a post about, okay, let me confess. I actually deleted it because I was going to make a post to indirectly throw a jab at him, but I didn't make the post anymore on WhatsApp. So, but I still deleted his number anyway. And everything has died off. And to be honest, I kind of felt relief. I know. I kind of felt relieved that things didn't work out, because it was almost like I was forcing myself to try. I was forcing myself to come out here and try to be with someone else, try to find someone new. I literally have been forcing myself to do this, and it's not fun. I just don't want to be the girl that is not trying. So when I try, it's like I'm forcing myself to try. But I was relieved, to be honest. I was really like, God, this one has ended. I was so relieved. Like, I was so relieved. It was like a burden fell off my shoulder when I found out it wasn't going to work out. It is weird, but that's what it was for me, to be honest. And after the whole situation, I had a conversation with my cousin, and then the first thing she said was, if it's Yoruba, he's married. Okay. No shade to Yoruba guys. No shade, absolutely, to Yoruba guys. I know that they're amazing Yoruba guys. I'm not trying any shade, but but the truth is, I sent a picture of him to a friend of mine. Friend said, this one is married. I said, what do you mean? He said, no, this guy is married. I said, how do you know? He said, there's just something about him. How do you just know that somebody is married by just something about him? I had that suspicion personally that he probably was married. And if we're getting into the conversation of I think it's almost like it's so rampant nowadays, especially like around us nowadays. It's so rampant that when you meet a man in his 40s, the first thing you're going to start thinking about is he married? To be honest, that was one of the first questions I was going to ask him. Are you married? Because I feel like these guys are out here trying to just have all the fun they can at the expense of whoever is able to make themselves either available or blind their eyes enough, like shut their eyes really tight enough that they ignore the fact that you are dating a married man. I don't argue with it. I'm sorry, but I don't get it. I don't argue with it. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for listening. We continue next week with more gist, and I always would go back to other things that I've talked about. Definitely. So that's it for today. I remain Kimia, Andrew, Kim for short. See you next week. Bye.